And that's a little bit of the FCA experience, the Stellantis experience. I knew the day was going to eventually come, but I didn't think it was going to be so soon. And so the title is not clickbait. I officially have my first problem with my Jeep Wrangler 4xe. The reality is it's actually not a 4xe specific problem. So hopefully you're not sad about that, at least for my sake. But it is a problem, unfortunately, nonetheless. So all I'm going to ask is if you guys enjoyed this video, you throw it a like, and if you want to see more content like this as well as help make content like this possible, that you subscribe. Without further ado, let's get right into the issue. All right, so as I mentioned, this is not some sort of major issue, and it's not some sort of 4xe specific issue. But a few weeks ago when I got my 35-inch tires installed, I was super excited, and as I was kind of taking a look at the new aggressive stance I had achieved, I noticed my passenger side rear shock looked a little bit greasy, and I was a tiny bit alarmed, but too overwhelmed at the time by the awesome new look of my wheels and tires to really worry about it too much. I had to go out of town. I came back and I noticed the problem had only gotten worse. I had a very, very leaky, greasy looking shock. On top of the shock looking even more greasy, there were a bunch of oil stains on the ground below where the car had been sitting. So that was another telltale sign to me that for sure I had a leaky shock on my hands. So I made an appointment, and with these shortages and stuff, dealerships somehow just don't have availability even for service checkups and whatnot, but I was able to set one a week in advance, which means I set it last week for today, and that's where I'm headed right now, to the dealership to have them diagnose this issue, which again I personally believe is a leaky shock, and hopefully they're able to rather quickly approve a sort of warranty claim for me and replace the shock at no cost to me. But I guess we'll only find out. So I'm headed there now, and I will update you guys as this process continues, and hopefully I will have a new shock on that rear passenger side wheel in no time. So we'll find out. All right, so believe it or not, it has actually been over a month since that last clip was filmed. The service tech that I was dealing with was able to pretty quickly approve my warranty claim for a no-cost shock, which is great news. But the part was delayed about a week to 10 days, and I tried to get in contact with them about a week later. You're going through a red light, my guy. Yeah, so sorry, that was crazy. So yeah, the service tech was able to pretty quickly, or I guess the service advisor, I should say, was able to pretty quickly approve that claim, which is great. But when I tried to get back in contact with him about a week later, he said, it still hasn't arrived. Okay, there's no problem. He said, give me another week or so. Another week passed, actually probably more like 2 weeks passed, and I called back and I was informed that he no longer works at the dealership. So they had the part for like a week by that point, but no one had contacted me. So I was able to set an appointment again another week in advance. So all in all, today has been like over 2 months since I first noticed this issue, and over a month since I was able to first take it into the dealer. But fingers are crossed that they have the part in hand, and I'm headed to the dealership right now, and they can install my new passenger side rear shock. We'll be all good to go. So I'll be at the dealership in a matter of minutes. Hopefully they can knock it out in just a couple hours, and I'll update you guys later in the day as to whether or not I've received, or I guess had, my new non-leaking rear shock installed and my one big first Wrangler issue fixed. Good news, we got the rear shock replaced officially at no cost through warranty, as I was hoping we would. It only took a bit longer than I was expecting, and that's a little bit of the FCA experience, the Stellantis experience. You just get you don't get the luxury car experience that maybe I'm a bit more accustomed to, coming from BMW or an Audi before that, and you don't get loaner cars as frequently, and it's just not quite as luxurious again as an overall experience. But I don't really mind too much as long as they replace my shock. I'm pretty happy, and they did. I also was able to get one of my free oil changes done at the same time, so that got knocked out as well, because I'm just over 5,000 miles now on the vehicle. So got the oil change done, got the shock replaced. I'm in the car, I'm happy, and I mean, there's not really much more to say than overall not a horrible experience. The lag and the fact that everything took so long, that was a bit frustrating. and the fact that I wasn't able to get a loaner car, so I had to constantly coordinate getting myself back home from the dealership, then getting myself back to the dealership, pick my vehicle up, and the fact that I had to do that when I first got the vehicle diagnosed, and then again to get the shock replaced. But luckily, both visits were very short, only about 3, 4, 5 hours max. So within the span of one business day, and yeah, I'm just overall, I know it wasn't some sort of 4xe specific issue that I had, but just being able to get this faulty shock replaced on a brand new over $60,000 vehicle is what I expect. To have the part replaced at no cost to me, and getting that service done at the same, or getting that oil change service done at the same time. That was just a bonus. Otherwise, there's not much more for me to say other than knock on wood. I hope, fingers crossed, I have no other issues with this vehicle, and I've really been enjoying driving it now for, again, over 5,000 miles. And I will continue to make content with it. So if you guys enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. New videos are dropping every single week on Fridays for the most part. Comment down below, let me know what you guys want to see. I'll do my best to make it happen. As always, this is Rio on the 405 freeway. Peace out. You can even see I got my service tag here with me.